My name is Adeboyega. I'm a pharmacist. So I went to primary school, obviously. Started off, I lived in Nigeria for a little bit, so I went to school there for a little while. And then we moved to the UK, so went to school actually in this local area, South London. And then went on to secondary school, done my GCSEs, and got my, 5 or more A-star to C grades, and then went on to college to go and do the A-levels I wanted to do, so biology, chemistry, and initially I'd done physics, and then I was like, wait, but I can't do this. So then I went on and done philosophy, changed over to philosophy, which is completely different, but that got me what I needed to get to university, to pharmacy. I feel like because I moved schools so many times, I probably had teachers that I thought were, the best. But one teacher that I will never forget is my year 1 teacher when I used to live in Newcastle up north, and her name's Miss Wilcox. And I still go to the primary school now, and she still works there, and weirdly still remembers me.
Why was she your favourite teacher?
I just feel like she was very caring. She obviously had this passion for children, and making sure that we were happy, comfortable, and I remember the lessons being fun.
What were you like at school?
I think it changed through the different stages. So primary school, can't remember much of it, just playing in sand and water as you do. And then as I got into secondary school, I think I became really focused. So I was a very, very focused person. I always wanted to do well, never wanted to be that person that was last. I was quite competitive, not because I wanted to show off, but because I wanted to tell myself you can do this. So I would always be the one that's like a bit of a study freak, always studying. So yeah, I've always had that. Yeah, so from about age of 8, I knew that I wanted to be a pharmacist. And the only reason I knew that was because I had people who were family friends who were pharmacists, and I just loved helping people. I love chemistry, I love science. So seeing what they done and, looking at the things that I enjoyed doing kind of helped me to merge that and think, okay, maybe I should go into pharmacy. And then obviously I think it's in year 10, we done like the 2-week work experience, worked in a chemist, and I worked with a really amazing pharmacist. I won't forget him. And he was like, he kind of made it seem more than just a shopkeeper's job, because a lot of times people think that it's just, you just stand in a shop and yeah, so since then I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. Yes, I definitely think that they can do a better job at that, because there's so much more than the education. Even now, kind of looking back at even university, like, yes, we have those individual modules or whatever it is that we do, but it doesn't prepare you for actually working. You can have the knowledge, but going from being in school all your life to this new world where you've got to learn how to manage colleagues, and you've got to learn how to communicate with people. You have to learn how to deal with difficult people or manage your time and, your skills, develop your skills. I think they could do a lot more. For the course that I was doing, I definitely needed to go to university, and I really enjoyed my university time. I always say to younger people now that I would have probably enjoyed myself more if I hadn't been so obsessed with studying. I had this obsession of doing well, so I didn't really go out much with my friends. I didn't experience the whole, freshers lifestyle. I feel like I could have definitely just met more people, networked more, created more, like, I guess, more friends or whatever, had more networks and connections, and could have built that a bit more. I would say chill, relax, yes, you only have one life, and yes, you want to succeed, but it's okay to fail. It's okay to not always be the best. There is always a lesson to learn in that. So chill, enjoy yourself more, live life. Life is not just about enduring and making sure you're successful, but also enjoy, meet new people, network more. There's no rush. There's no rush in the sense that you don't, I feel like I always had this mindset of you have to do everything career-wise before 30. Everything has to happen before 30. You have to be at the top of your career. You have to be working as the manager of your business or whatever it is before 30, but there's no rush. Your network is your net worth. That's another thing I wish I was told. Like, you know, it's not what you know, it's who you know, really. So yeah. Definitely not. I feel that I could definitely do much better in that. I feel like I can be a closed person. I can be quite closed in the sense that I'm shy to meet new people and stuff like that. So when, you know, pharmacy or medic events are available, sometimes I don't take opportunity to go. I don't take the time out to really research what's out there for me. I feel like I know a lot of pharmacists and a lot of doctors, but that's just people who I've met at work or people who I already know from, you know, going to pharmacy school. So I could do better in going to events and meeting people who are not within, you know, kind of my area or space. I would say that the first biggest one was before I actually became a pharmacist. In my final year of university, my dad passed away in January, and my final year exams were in March. So I remember just thinking, why would this happen? Like, in this time, you know, this is something I've always wanted to do. You know, this is something that I believe that it's my calling, it's my path, you know, and so why would this happen? And I remember going to talk to the head of pharmacy school and telling her, like, this is what's happened. And she was like, I think you should drop out and just take time out. And if you want to come back, or you can just leave at, you know, level 3. And I was just like, no, I have to do this. So I would say that is my number one toughest. And I'm grateful that I was able to come through that and, you know, persevere and get through that time. Being a pharmacist, as soon as I qualified, you're thrown into managerial positions. So having to manage staff and being told by area managers that you are not competent enough. So it's situations where you had to balance your knowledge as a clinical member of staff versus somebody who's running a business, because I was working for a particular business and, you know, they were more focused on the money, whereas I was more focused on the patients. So those were tough seasons, because it's like I'm trying to care for these people, you know, that I'm meant to look after, but you're telling me I'm not running your business, I'm not making enough money for you. So that definitely it made me more, I guess, insecure in my role. Like, am I good enough then? Then they're saying I'm not good enough, I can't run things, I can't manage things well. But being able to persevere, as I said, and push through those challenges has made me stronger. I can think back to times where I've worked in a particular location in England, and because of my race, I've had backlash from patients, customers in the shops. I remember a particular day working at a store, and it's obviously a pharmacy, and I think one of the patients, the pharmacy was full, loads of, you know, people screaming and shouting, where's my drugs and all this stuff, and, you know, you being like the manager, you're like trying to control yourself but control everyone else, and someone shouted, oh, you black dog or something from like the back of the store. This is like a store full of like 20 people waiting in a queue. I'm the only pharmacist, I have one assistant working with me, and I was like, oh my God, like, that was, for me, I was like, I can't believe people are still like that, you know. And more recently, I was working for a company where I was the only black female there, and I encountered so many subtle racist comments and just behaviours, you know, telling me I can't use my hands to talk when I'm talking to the directors because it's offensive. But a lot of black people, we talk with our hands because we're quite expressive, you know. I was told that, you know, because I'm a Christian, I'm spending too much time at a particular site of the business. Is that because you're a Christian? You know, why can't you just like detach yourself from all of that, you know? Or just being picked on, bullied, being made to feel less because of my colour. I would say, for me personally, the experiences that I've had is more because of my colour, my race. It's not because in the world of pharmacy, there's a lot of females. Your managers are probably females. I don't think I've probably had one manager that was male in my whole time. I've been a pharmacist for 4 years now. I've only had one male manager. So I wouldn't say it's gender in this field, in this particular field. I would say race, definitely. And I think it's people thinking that you're not capable enough because of your race, or you don't understand things because of your race, or she won't know that because she's not from here, or she's not, she probably grew up or studied somewhere else, Making everybody feel like they're welcome and it's okay to be who you are, and also having things in place that makes people feel comfortable to speak up, because I think we're going to face it regardless, because I think we can't control, who we work with, and the companies can't control. They can control who they employ. Obviously, they can discipline people and all that kind of stuff. But it's more making people feel comfortable with opening up and saying, actually, this is what I've been going through. What are you going to do about that situation to make me, as your employee or whatever, or a person working with you or in your business or for you or whatever, feel more able to speak up about it. Because we can't control everybody. Everyone's different. So I don't know who I'm going to work with in a couple of years' time, but whoever my employer is, I'm hoping that they can put things in place, the systems in place, where I can speak up about what's happening in the workplace. More from when I've worked in the NHS as a junior. It's been many occasions where, things are busy, or there's a lot of things happening, and we're short-staffed, or Christmas season, there's always everyone's in hospital at Christmas. So staying behind and helping more, being able to be like, okay, I'm supposed to be covering 2 particular clinical areas today, but I don't mind taking on an extra one, and my employers have come back and said, you know what, we're really appreciative that you're able to do that. We're happy that you're showing that you can help out, and just a simple thank you for me is enough. Within the NHS, raises are interesting because unlike private companies, you won't get an exceptional raise because it's the NHS and it is a public service. But where I've worked for private companies, because I have worked for private companies before, I have had raises higher than the 1% or whatever it is that the NHS currently give. So yeah, just from an appreciative point of view, thank you for doing this, thank you for being a loyal employee. We're going to give you guys a raise, or we're going to give you something in return for that. It was quite challenging because so it's under the NHS blanket, where you kind of know whatever the salary is, that's what the salary is. However, because it was a privately owned, so it was still running under the NHS but privately owned by a particular GP, I was able to kind of. Initially, it was quite difficult because they've set their minds on what they want to do. But for me, it was kind of going in with the mindset of, if I'm going to help you to grow and expand your current business, I'm an asset to you, and me being here is going to give you more patients. It's going to give you more services. So therefore, I believe that I need. I would say definitely know what your current skills are. Get yourself to a position where you have extra benefits. So, I'm different from person A or person B because I have this. And because I have this, I'm wanted by other people. Because I have this, I can help you to expand. Me coming in here or into this business and into this role is helping you move forward, and therefore giving you more clients and giving you more patients, more customers. So therefore, I believe that I deserve to get more. But know what you currently have, and get yourself to a position where if you need to have more skills and more qualifications, then do so. I think it could be a combination of things. Sometimes it's the money, the fact that it's getting more expensive now to study. Yes, we have student loan, but we have to pay it back. Back in the day, I feel like I never even thought about paying it back, but that's the reality. So people are trying to avoid having extra debt. Some people, I think they've seen that you can actually be successful without going to university, because they've seen it, social media, they've seen it on TV, they've seen it around, we're living in an age now where literally anything, any whatever craft you have, you can build that into a business without having any education. So I think that those two things are kind of the combinations that I think. It could be, again, a combination of the fact that they're not accepting the people that we, are of our race, but also because we are limiting ourselves. We think, I can't go to that university because I'm black, they don't accept black people, or I can't go because even if I do apply, they might just look at my surname or, whatever, and think, oh no, we don't want them. So we're limiting ourselves. We're not going for gold. We're not going for the best. We are giving ourselves that mediocre blanket mindset. Again, I would say know and be confident in what you know and in yourself. Be confident in the fact that you are more than capable of doing whatever you want to do. Nobody can tell you that you can't. As long as you are determined, as long as you are disciplined, and as long as you're willing to do the work, you're more than capable of doing it. So don't give yourself that, I can only go so far. You can go as far as you want to go as long as you're willing to do the work. And obviously when you are applying for these roles or these positions or, for at these universities, make sure that you actually do know your stuff, because sometimes we could talk ourselves into things and be like, yeah, I know this, I got this, and then you really don't got it, So know your stuff and whatever it is that you need to do to develop and advance, do it. Prepare yourself for that position, to that time where you have to probably face up to people and show them what you do know. So at the moment my career is really merging in with one of my passions, which is health and wellness in general, and my goal and my dream is to be able to continue to inspire and help people to get to a position in their lives where they're healthy and they're strong and they know that their health is their responsibility. And for me as a pharmacist, I'm going to use my medical knowledge, my knowledge on medicines and drugs in general, to help people to do the right things in order for us to get to the place where we need to be with our health. For us to live long and for us to achieve our dreams, you have got to be healthy, you've got to be strong. Nobody's going to do that for you have to do that for yourself. So that requires me as a clinician helping people understand the body better, understand their nutrition better, understand exercise, the benefits, the disadvantages, because exercise does have disadvantages. So that's my end goal. Yeah, so I run a fitness page on social media where I basically just motivate, inspire, and help people to get that discipline to look after themselves, to go to the gym, exercise. Doesn't have to be in the gym. Exercise, eat well, and I put on boot camps for women and men. I'm currently planning a retreat in Portugal next year for females, and also merging this with my faith, because I'm a Christian and I believe that God has given us all responsibility to look after ourselves. Yes, He has promised us long life, but you've got to do your part. You can't have long life down in a bottle of Coke every day on your sofa. I merged basically my career as a pharmacist, using that kind of medical knowledge with my faith, and also just fitness and health in general. Mentorship is very, very important to me. I have had mentors in my life from the age of 16, and they have been so helpful. I think sometimes people feel like having a mentor means that, they're going to tell me I've got to do this, I can't do this, I can't go to that place, I can't apply for that job. But having a mentor for me means that if I've got things that I'm not 100% sure of, I can always go to them and be like, what do you think of this? And it's not really their place to say, you have to go down this route, but this is my advice, because they're hopefully somebody who has lived and walked through life before you. I always advise people, get a mentor who is not necessarily just older than you, but is more knowledgeable than you, has more wisdom than you, and get somebody who you aspire to be like. So I think it's very vital to look for people in your life or around you. Doesn't have to be family, doesn't have to be friends. You can even have a mentor from afar, in the sense that there are people who you look up to. Study that person's life. What are the things that they do? What are the things that they've done that didn't work out for them, and how can I avoid that? So yeah, I would definitely be willing to be a mentor.